Hello and welcome back. I still have with me here Adekelu. So we're still talking about our cleaning business, the challenges and the success so far.
Anyways, with the cleaning business, like I rightly said, my dad inspired me from cleaning our own house. Then COVID started, and I saw it as a business opportunity to venture into. Nobody wanted to clean, so I was like, okay, I'll take the risk. And so far, so good. We've never had any issue as regards health hazards through cleaning. I was gonna quit at some point because the business was growing on its own. I didn't have to do too much. Word of mouth to another person, and it was growing. It was just me doing it by myself. I was gonna quit, and then God just told me, like, instead of closing this up, why don't you use it as a source of empowerment for other people, especially international students?
Wow.
They always struggle to get a job when they come into Canada. So I was like, okay. And I would do my scrutiny properly, interview people properly, because I need to be sure of who is going into someone's house. We don't want an issue of theft or things like that. So we had our challenges as regards that, but through experience and expertise, we've been able to build a formidable team that does an incredible job. We do an excellent job, if I must say so.
Wow.
Yeah. So from there, I've been able to help, and support students.
Wow, fantastic. Now, this is someone who started the business all by herself, and now she has become an employer of labor.
Absolutely.
It does not matter what you're doing, it does not matter. All you need to do, look for a need and meet it. When you meet the need, it will just naturally come. You see that you start making income from it. Thank you so much for helping at least this international student, because a lot of times I get people, they send me message, please, we need help, I need job, blah blah blah. Please, can you refer me? I get a lot of people, who want all those things done for them. But thank you so much for what you're doing, and I pray that your business will continue to move from one permanent site to another permanent site, like we say. So, Queenies Toy Library. Why Queenies Toy Library? Please tell us something about that.
Okay. So there's no way I would start the story of Queenies Toy Library without bringing in the God factor. We usually do a 5 a.m. prayer. A group of us, women here in Sudbury, or Canada, so to speak. And I was sleeping on my own while doing the prayer, while one of the leaders for the prayer mentioned that a prayer point by saying, God, give us an idea, a business idea, a project idea that would expand us and move us forward. Something like that. So in my head, I was like, I beg, I just need money right now. I'm tired of working. Just give me money and let me move on with my life. But you know how God works. Okay, you're asking me for money. Will the money fall from heaven? Or do you want to go and do 419? How will you get the money? You will work for it. So at that moment, he just spoke to me like, how about you start an early intervention initiative, something that helps children with developmental disabilities or delay. And if you look at it in reality, there's a lot going on. I feel like the devil is just targeting children. And this is not just about black kids. In fact, the rate among white kids is higher when it comes to autism than black kids. And now the autism is channeling into African countries. We didn't used to have it. When I traveled to United Kingdom back then, I used to see them. And this was how long ago? Maybe like 10, 15 years ago. But recently,
it's like every house.
In the one family, there's one child who has it, and it's so heartbreaking. So I feel like that prayer point, sometimes to be careful the prayer point because you don't know the way God will answer you. But one thing I know for sure is there is no way God will ask you to do something and He will not bring you through it.
Did you hear that?
You know, he will always
Did you hear
bring you
that?
through it. He will get you to it and take you through it. So I'm having my own challenges as I speak. I've had a lot of rejections, a lot of no's, a lot of no response. But God keeps saying, I ask you to do this thing. I will not shame you. So the fact that God said I would, I've had someone tell it to my face, saying that they did not think I can continue with the project. They said it to my face.
Wow.
So that alone is my motivation to go on. Queenies Toy Library has come to stay. We will celebrate 10 years anniversary.
Amen.
We will celebrate 20 years.
Amen.
We will go above and beyond,
Amen.
far and wide.
Amen.
So, you know, it's hard. I'm not here sitting down looking all nice as if somebody is pumping money into the business. No, we are struggling. But you know
God
what?
is helping.
We will get through it.
You know, there's one word gives you a vision. He makes provision for it. So he will not tell you to do something and expect you to go and struggle for, you know, to go and find your way. He will always make a way. And one of the ways I know one of the ways is by sending people to you.
Absolutely.
He will send helpers. And I used to say it in my prayers, I would say, God has placed people strategically to help me. They are strategically located to help me. They may not be people that are of the same skin color with me. Anyone, because God has given the vision and he must see to pass that that vision comes to pass.
Absolutely. It will come to pass.
Exactly. Sure. And so how has it been? The response, like, you know, because again, I know you're also reaching out not only to the immigrant community, you're reaching out to everybody.
It's everybody.
But for the immigrant community, where we know that we are still laid back when it comes to things like this, like, you know, developmental issues with kids, autism and ADHD and all that. You know, we are still laid back. Some of us are still doing, praying about it and leaving it for God to do and not taking any step whatsoever. How has it been with, you know?
Yeah, I know that I've not had so much positive response, especially from Africans. A lot of white people accept it, and acceptance is not an easy thing to come by. You have to be there mentally, emotionally, physically to accept that truly this child has a need. So my own point of view is, what is important to you? Is it your ego in accepting this, or the love for your child to thrive? So,
is it your ego
to accepting the reality,
the reality, or your love
for your child to thrive? What is more important to you? For me, I want my daughter, I want my son to thrive. I want them to be the best version of themselves. So as much as, even as Africans, we want our kids to be lawyers, doctors, engineers. My son loves art. In a normal Nigerian setting, if a parent hears that, would be like, they first ask you, do you know Chief Oshobu? Have you seen his son? Do you know that he's a medical doctor? Do you know his son is a pilot? You want to, how much do artists make? But they make a lot of money too. Anyways, I digress. So what I'm trying to say is, let's accept that there's a problem. We shouldn't embody it completely. We should also be positive that, okay, this problem has a solution. As you are praying, prayer is good. You know, prayer is good. But as you are praying, be doing the physical work. What efforts have you made? I'm not really good with Bible verses, but I believe there's a Bible verse that says, faith without works is dead. So even God gives you divine wisdom. When we are asking for divine wisdom, God is also telling you that you should use your brain. I created this brain for you. Talk to this person, talk to that person, gather the information you need for you to thrive, for you to be successful. So while we are praying, let us do the needful too. So like, you know what, I'm not going to force anybody to accept that there's a problem. I will not even use the word problem. Let's not force anyone to accept that there's a challenge or a child is delayed. I want them to even get there on their own. But the problem is, it might be too late. According to my professor, most kids' brain stop developing at 6. So if your child is autistic or is delayed, maybe in speech, in fine motor skills, in behavior, and this child has attained the age of 7 or 8, okay, you can still work on it, but you will be working harder. The earlier you notice that this child is not working when he's supposed to, please do something. The moment you realize that this child is not talking, meeting the exact number of words they should be saying, do something. Another thing I made a mistake with is comparing my kids. Oh, my first son did not do this immediately, so that means, well, she's taking after him. No, kids are different. Trust me, especially we immigrants. So my son was born and bred in Nigeria, and you have a child here in Canada. They are never going to be raised the same.
At all.
The food they eat alone.
So I say to you today, you can't hear all these things and still be laid back. You can't hear all these things. Are you taking advantage of the resources? Thank God for Canada. If this child, even now, you know, that we are having more and more cases of, you know, kids with all these developmental problems, even in Nigeria, they are going after speech therapists. They are going after people who can help them with all the special needs problems, and you know, they are paying big money to even get people to help. So, but here in Canada, you can even, there are resources. There are organizations that are giving you free resources for you to be able to take advantage of and apply it to your life. What are you waiting for?
There's also a wait list. So I'm going to talk about some of the problems that some parents who are even willing to do the work could have, especially low income earners. You know, a lot of parents and immigrants, you know, for specification, more of low income immigrants are struggling. Speech therapist is not cheap. No, it's not cheap. So if there's a wait list, then that makes it even harder. Now there's a long wait list for kids who have autism to get their diagnosis. Some people are waiting for like 2 years to get a diagnosis. You're waiting 2 whole years to get a diagnosis.
And the child is growing.
And the child is growing in ways that he or she should not be, because they are not channeling their growth to the right direction. So tell me, for a low income earner who is waiting 2 years on a wait list, first of all, then who cannot afford a speech therapist, at least if you know that there's a problem with this child, why we are waiting? Because that wait list, there's nothing you can do about it. It's a government wait list. You cannot skip it. So while you are waiting, do you have enough money to see private practitioners? No. So these children are suffering for nothing.
But you will even know that something is wrong.
Something is wrong. So that is where Queenies Toy Library come in. We cater for everybody, because we know that even people that have the money, they still need the information. It's one thing to have the money, it's another thing to have a sense of direction. Where am I putting this money into? So Queenies Toy Library, we bring in psychologists, we bring in speech therapists, behavior analysts, we bring in dietitian. We come together as family. Like, it's a safe space. Talk your own, make I talk my own. Let us learn from one another, because this parental journey is not easy.
It's not easy.
It's not for the faint.
It's not easy for two people, not to talk of one person.
That one is a story. We will write a book on single parenting. We will write a special book on that one. That one is topic for another day.
Oh my
So I tell people, like, look, if you, because our kids are the future of tomorrow, and we want our kids to do better than us. I'm sitting down here now today. I want my daughter to be on CNN. I want her to be the next Oprah Winfrey. You see, mommy, and mommy is on YouTube. I'm not doing YouTube. I'm going international.
Level has changed,
you know. So, anyways, I digress.
Okay. Yes. Thank you so much for that. It's just to say that take advantage of the resources that you have around. And sometimes when we call for people, we have a program here, and people just look at it and they just move like, I'm busy, I'm working, I'm on shift,
we are not chasing money.
Everybody's chasing money. No, what is the most important thing to you?
Right.
Why did you come here? Why?